Welcome to the Nourish to Thrive podcast, faith-forward, science-backed strategies for women who want more energy, less weight, and real answers. I'm your host, Tanya Pennington-Miller, a functional nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist with a master's degree in applied clinical nutrition. If you're tired of feeling dismissed by your doctor, confused by your labs, and stuck in survival mode, you're in the right place. Here, we simplify the science. We get to the root, and we anchor it all in truth, because God made your body to heal and thrive, not just survive. It just needs the right kind of support and less noise. Hello, my friend. You are not here by accident. You are in the right place. And today's episode just might be the missing piece. If your body always feels a little tense, if you're tired, but your mind won't slow down, if you keep waking up around 3 a.m., wired and with anxious thoughts, this episode is going to help you understand what your body is actually trying to tell you and what you can start doing today to support it. And we're starting with something very simple, something that you might not even realize that you're doing: holding your breath. You might be holding your breath all day and you don't even know it. I see this all the time with women I work with. They'll say, I'm doing everything that I can to manage my stress. But then I ask them to take a breath. And they quickly realize that they have not taken a full belly breath all day long. So I want you to try this with me. I want you to put one hand on your chest and one on your belly. And I just want you to take a full, slow breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. If that felt like a reset to you, that's a sign. When you've been living in survival mode for a long time, shallow breathing, clenched jaws, and tight shoulders all start to feel normal. But your body notices these things even if you don't. This breath holding shows up everywhere. It's when we're in traffic, reading through emails, trying to get your family out the door, or maybe when we step on the scale, right? You can go hours without taking this full belly breath. And your body starts to live in this low-grade fight or flight state all day long. And that stress that you're carrying silently, it's sending messages to your hormones, especially cortisol. And here's another thing that you might not realize. You might be breathing through your mouth all day. Mouth breathing is one of the most overlooked signs that your nervous system is on edge. It's not just a bad habit. It's your body actually bracing for impact. It's crazy. The body was designed to breathe through the nose, slower, deeper, and connected to your rest and digest system. Breathing through our nose is actually going to put us in our parasympathetic state. But chronic stress pulls us into this short, shallow, mouth-based breathing. And I even noticed this with myself the other day. I was out on a nature walk with my daughter. It wasn't brisk. I was just enjoying everything around me. And I noticed, because I try to pay attention, gosh, why am I breathing through my mouth? And so I closed my mouth and started breathing through my nose, and you can just really feel the difference. So if you find that you are catching yourself with your mouth open, with your shoulders up, or sighing without even meaning to, this isn't just about breathing. It's your body waving a flag, like asking for safety and support. Okay, and I know what some of you are thinking, because I hear this almost every time I bring this topic up, but I can't breathe through my nose, right? Because I know some of you struggle with that. And I hear this especially from women who are dealing with allergies or some kind of congestion or a chronic sinus issue. And I want you to know that it's more than just an inconvenience in your life. It's actually a sign of inflammation. or just some kind of dysfunction that is very worth addressing. It just means that your body's asking for support. Okay, there are real practical steps that you can take to improve nasal breathing over time. And even if it's not perfect right now, just bringing awareness to it is a very powerful first step. So, today we're talking about how chronic stress and cortisol impact your metabolism, your sleep, your energy levels, and why your body might be holding on to fat even when you are doing all the right things. Okay, so I want to talk about what cortisol actually is. It's not the villain. Cortisol is a survival hormone. It's a hormone designed by God to help you respond to stress and keep you alive. He didn't make a mistake with cortisol. Your adrenal glands produce cortisol in response to any kind of stress. This can be physical stress, like overtraining, some kind of inflammation or pain. Okay, this can be emotional stress like anxiety, conflict, or some kind of grief. It can be nutritional stress like undereating or blood sugar crashes, blood sugar dysregulation. It can even be perceived stress. Just thinking about something stressful can spike your cortisol. It's like not fair. And even good stress, like planning a wedding, having a baby, opening a business, right? These are all things to be excited about, but they're still stressors. They're still perceived stressors on our body. So let's slow down here and really unpack this because cortisol gets a really bad rap in the wellness world, right? But it's not the enemy. God created cortisol to help you survive. It's made by your adrenal glands and it is released in response to stress. It's literally your body's built in alarm system. Now, I want you to go back with me for a minute to our hunter gatherer roots. Okay, God did not make a mistake. This hormone was crucial for survival. When danger came, a predator, a threat, scarcity of food, cortisol helped us to think clearly, to move quickly, and to store energy so that we didn't die. It pulled sugar into the bloodstream to fuel a quick escape. It shut down digestion temporarily so blood could rush to our muscles so that we could run, right? When we're being chased, we don't need digestion to be happening. We need to be able to run. It kept us alert, it kept us focused, it kept us alive. In short, it was a gift. But here's the thing. That system was meant for moments, not for months. It was meant to be tapped into and not lived in. Okay, our ancestors had acute stress, followed by rest and restoration. Today, most women are living in a constant state of low grade survival stress. There's no tiger chasing you, but your brain doesn't know the difference between a real emergency or a calendar that is just stacked with back to back obligations. And that's where things start to shift. When cortisol is high all the time, your body starts to adapt, not to thrive, but to survive. And here's what that looks like. Your body starts to store fat, especially around your midsection to quote unquote save it for later. Okay, your thyroid slows down to conserve its resources. Your blood sugar starts to swing back and forth like a pendulum. And your body quite literally resists weight loss, even if you're eating clean and you're working out. Okay, cortisol becomes less of a support and more of a signal that your body isn't safe. And I want to be clear, this isn't about your body failing you. This is actually about your body showing wisdom. Your body is wise. It's not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you. And that's why the solution is not to fight harder. It's actually to create safety. to send the signal that says, you're okay, you're supported, you can exhale now. Okay. And cortisol isn't just about being stressed, it's about how your body interprets your life. And here's what's wild, especially for those who tend to overthink or just kind of stay up at night running every scenario in their mind. Your body doesn't actually know the difference between something that's really happening and something that you're just worrying about. So if you're spending time imagining some kind of future problem, replaying a worst case scenario that hasn't even happened yet, your body is going to respond as if it is real. That cortisol surge still happens. The stress response still kicks in because your brain said, this feels like danger, and your body believed it. That is the power of perception and why chronic worry and fear are so physically exhausting. Your body's constantly preparing for something that may never come. So when it doesn't feel safe or nourished or rested, it doesn't want to let go of anything. It doesn't want to let go of fat, of tension, of exhaustion. Okay, that's why this is not about willpower. It's about helping your body to feel safe again. Okay, so I want to talk about some signs that your cortisol may be out of balance. How do you know if your cortisol rhythm is off? Okay, and these are some of the most common signs that I see in the women I work with. So these are going to be, namely women who are over 35. Okay, one of the biggest that I see is trouble falling asleep and or waking up around that 2, 3 o'clock time in the morning and just not being able to settle down. So if you're tossing and turning at night or waking up at 3 a.m. with a racing mind, that is often cortisol at play. Cortisol should be lowest at night so that your body can rest. But if your stress response is stuck in high gear, it can spike in the middle of the night and it makes it really, really hard to sleep. You might be so tired, but the second that you lay down, it's like your brain just will not shut off. And if that's you, here is a gentle reframe. And this might sound interesting, but instead of just laying there in frustration, try getting up and doing something simple, okay? Something physical, like just a few slow squats or a short walk around your house, like inside your home. That movement can help burn off the extra blood sugar that cortisol just released into your system. Because remember, cortisol releases stored sugar into your system so that you can use it, so that you can run from the saber-toothed tiger. But you're just laying there in bed. You're not running from anything. So if you get up and walk around a little bit or do a few squats, you're now sending a message to your body. I used the energy you gave me. We're safe now. You can settle. An alternative thing you can try is a small spoonful of like butter or nut butter or some kind of little fat-rich snack. Okay, something to help stabilize you and just signal to your body that it's okay to rest. Another thing you might be noticing is just a feeling of anxiousness, feeling edgy, or just really emotionally sensitive. Okay, like your fuse is just shorter than it used to be. This is very common and very frustrating for the women I work with. You're not trying to be reactive. You don't want to snap at your kids or your partner or spiral over something small, but your nervous system just feels like it's constantly on edge. And it's not just in your head. This is really your hormones. When cortisol stays elevated, your body is operating in this state of threat detection. Everything feels a little more intense, a little more personal, a little harder to bounce back from. Like even small inconveniences like, spilled coffee or a last minute schedule change. It can just feel like too much. And then the guilt comes on. Why am I like this? I used to be able to handle so much more. And if that's been your inner dialogue lately, I want to gently interrupt it. Your capacity hasn't disappeared. You're not emotionally broken. You're just depleted. This level of irritability and sensitivity is often your body's way of saying, I'm stretched too thin. I don't feel safe. I need support. And when you begin to shift by adding nourishment, adding rest, and nervous system safety back into your day, your ability to respond with calm instead of reacting out of stress will start to come back. Not overnight, but little by little. Okay, and I'm going to be helping you with this today. Something else you may be noticing. You might be crashing hard mid-morning or mid-afternoon, even if you started the day strong. Okay, and this one is sneaky because your day might start well. You wake up, maybe you even feel energized. You knock a few things off your list, and then bam. Maybe it's 10:30 in the morning, maybe it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's like someone pulled the plug. Your brain gets foggy, your body feels heavy, you start reaching for caffeine or sugar or something crunchy just to keep you going. This kind of crash isn't just about energy. It's about blood sugar rhythm and cortisol regulation. See, your energy isn't just a tank that you fill once in the morning and hope it lasts, right? It's more like a campfire. It needs steady fuel throughout the day to keep burning. But if your morning started with a carb heavy meal, or maybe you just skipped breakfast and powered through with a cup of coffee, you likely had a blood sugar spike followed by a crash. And when that crash hits, your body panics. Cortisol jumps in, tries to stabilize things, but now you're stuck in that tired but wired loop again. That 3 p.m. slump is a biological signal that your body is out of rhythm. So what's the fix? It's not caffeine. It's incorporating a proactive, not reactive. Caffeine is very reactive, right? It's a proactive rhythm. So starting your day with protein and fat. Eating before the crash hits. Supporting your adrenal glands with minerals. And knowing that rest is not only not a bad word, it's a tool. It's not a weakness. This is the kind of shift that doesn't just get you through the day, it gives you back yourself. Okay, another sign is the classic tired but wired feeling at night. When your body is exhausted, but your brain won't turn off. You've made it to the end of the day, you're wiped, your body's begging you for sleep, but your brain, it decides that now is the perfect time to remind you of everything you didn't do. Every conversation you replay in your head, every worry you've been holding at bay since sunrise. This is that frustrating, tired but wired feeling that so many women over 35 start to normalize. But it's not normal. And it's not just anxiety. It's your nervous system stuck in go mode. Cortisol is meant to wind down in the evenings so that melatonin can rise and help you fall asleep beautifully. But if your body has been running on stress hormones all day, it doesn't know how to turn off. Your system is still on high alert, even if nothing, urgent is actually happening. Now, you add in screen time, late night snacking, scrolling to, because you think it helps you wind down. Now you've got a nervous system that is stimulated and not soothed. It's not just about needing better sleep hygiene, although that helps. It's about creating safety so that your body can finally rest. Okay, so this means having a consistent wind down routine, turning off stimulating inputs an hour before bed. Please do not watch the news before bed. Getting sunlight early in the day to anchor your circadian rhythm. Okay, the goal isn't just sleep, it's true restoration. Because when your body feels safe, sleep isn't something you chase, it is something you sink into. How does that feel? Another sign is that you're holding on to belly fat. And this may be even if your nutrition or your workouts haven't changed. It's so frustrating. I'm eating clean, I'm working out, I haven't changed anything, but my belly just won't budge. And if that's you, I want you to hear me when I say that your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do when it thinks it's under stress. When cortisol is chronically elevated, one of the body's protective mechanisms is to store fat, especially around your midsection. What in the world? Why? Because belly fat is metabolically active. It's a quick access energy, and your body thinks you might need it later. It's literally a safety fat. Okay, this isn't about calories in, calories out. This is about hormonal signaling. If your body feels overworked, if it feels underfed, or like it's just constantly putting out fires, it's going to hang on to fuel for dear life. Okay, and here's the kicker. If you keep trying to fix this by eating less or training harder, you're actually confirming to your body that resources are scarce and danger is high, which means that your body is going to dig in deeper. More fat retention, more burnout, more frustration. So, what's the solution? We need to shift the signal. We need to support your nervous system. We need to create consistent, nourishing rhythms. We have to remind your body you are not in famine. You are not in danger. You are safe now. And when your body can finally start believing that, it will start to let go. These are all just signals that your stress response is carrying more than it was designed to. The good news is that when you stop ignoring these signals and you start working with your body's design, healing becomes possible. Okay. Now, all of this is not just a mindset issue. I want to get that straight. This is not about just thinking more positively or just trying harder to manage your stress. I know you've tried the deep breaths, the box breathing, you've made a gratitude list, you've read devotionals, you've bought essential oils, you've taken the bubble bath, the magnesium bath, right? But your body still feels fried. That's because what you're feeling isn't just emotional, it is physiological. Your body doesn't only respond to what you think, it responds to how you live. And when the way that you're living is constantly signaling threat, even in subtle ways, your cortisol stays on high alert. And here's what that can look like. It can be under eating, especially skipping breakfast or cutting carbs too low for too long consistently. It can be over exercising or doing intense workouts with no recovery. And some of you have genetics that put a higher priority on recovery than even your workouts. Okay, this could be blue light at night, which confuses your circadian rhythm, okay, and delays your melatonin production. It can be blood sugar crashes from irregular meals or sugary snacks or just plain snacking too much throughout the day. Even if you just have that constant feeling that you are behind or not doing enough throughout the day, all of these things tell your body we're not safe. Mindset matters, but it has to be paired with the rhythms that create actual physiological safety. Because your body hears every signal, not just your thoughts, but your meals, your movement, your schedule, your rest. And this is why I teach a rhythm based approach to healing, not just a motivational one. Because you're not just struggling with your thoughts, you're responding to real internal overload. And your body's just doing exactly what it was designed to do under stress. In fact, you should be thanking your body for what it's doing. It's keeping you alive. So if taking care of yourself feels harder than it should, it's not because you're doing something wrong. You're just carrying more than your system was built to hold. So what's the way forward? It starts with creating a steady calm from the inside out through what you eat, through rest, through the way that you move and breathe through your day, not through willpower. Okay, so let's talk about 5 practical shifts to help to lower your cortisol naturally. Number 1, and I've talked about this many times, I want you to eat within 90 minutes of waking up. Okay, we're focusing on protein and healthy fat here. Your body is not designed to run on willpower or caffeine alone. When you skip breakfast or delay eating, your adrenals have to step in to carry you. So they're going to step in with a surge of cortisol that mobilizes energy and keeps you going temporarily. That feeling you have of I feel fine without eating breakfast. It's often it's cortisol doing the heavy lifting for you. Okay, but once you eat, especially a balanced meal with the protein and the fat, cortisol now gets to step down. And some women feel like they lose their energy at this point, but that shift isn't a crash. It's your body finally resting. That sense of slowing is not a failure. It's the first sign that your body feels safe enough to stop running on stress. Eating some protein and fat within 90 minutes of waking helps to stabilize your blood sugar. It's going to help to support your adrenals. Eggs, uncured bacon, avocado, okay, can literally make your day. And for anyone who's thinking, but I know someone who skips breakfast, they don't eat until 2 p.m. and they're doing just fine. They might be, but chances are they're not dealing with the same cortisol dysregulation that you are. Their nervous system might be in a different season. And if this episode is resonating with you, if you're seeing yourself in these signs and symptoms, then you're not that person. Your body is asking for rhythm and not restriction. So it's not about comparison. It's about listening to your body. We have to give your body what it actually needs to heal. Okay, number 2, I want you to avoid fasting when your sleep is poor and or your stress is high. Okay, fasting is a powerful tool, but only in the right season. If you are not sleeping well, if you're in a season where you're constantly stressed or feeling depleted, then fasting is not only not going to help you, it will hurt you. Instead of promoting healing, it's going to push cortisol even higher. And when your body's already carrying too much, it won't see fasting as discipline, okay? It's going to see it as danger. This doesn't mean that you can't ever fast. It means that your timing matters even more. There's a time to stretch yourself, and there's a time to restore. And when you can learn to fast in the rhythm with the season that you're in, it becomes support. When you fast out of sync, it's going to be a stressor. So how do you know when it's the right time to fast? I want you to ask yourself, did I sleep well? Is my stress low? If yes, that's a green light. You might be in a good spot to fast. I want you to ask yourself, am I exhausted? Am I anxious? Am I running on fumes? If yes, that's going to be a no for today. Eat early, rebuild your foundation. Your body isn't a machine. It's responsive, it's rhythmic, and it is wise. And honoring that wisdom, that's the real secret to sustainable health. Okay, number 3, I want you to start your day with natural light and some movement, not the light on your phone. Before you scroll, I want you to step outside. Getting natural light in your eyes within 30 minutes of waking is going to anchor your cortisol rhythm for the entire day. And now you pair that with 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement. You can do a short walk, do some stretching. It sends the signal, we're up, we're grounded, we're safe. It's not about checking a box. It's about showing your body what's true before the world starts yelling at you. And honestly, this one shift can do more for your hormones than most supplements on any shelf. This is why inside my alumni membership, the women get daily access to short, hormone-safe movement videos that are designed to start the day in rhythm. It's one of the simplest ways that we can support the body back to safety. And it makes a real difference. Number 4, use minerals like magnesium, sodium, potassium, which are going to help calm your adrenals. If you're feeling wired, tired, both, your body might not need more rest. It might need minerals. Your stress response burns through magnesium, sodium, and potassium fast, especially when you're under pressure. And most women that I work with are unknowingly low. This isn't just a hydration issue, it's about cellular function and nervous system calm. So adding a pinch of sea salt to your water, some trace mineral drops to your water, you can use a high quality electrolyte powder like optimal electrolytes. These can all go a really long way. If you caught last week's episode, you know that we unpacked this in detail, but it's worth repeating. Before you reach for another cup of coffee, I want you to ask yourself, does my body need more stimulation? Or does it need another support? Okay, number 5, I want you to create a wind down routine. No screens, no decision making, no cortisol triggers. You don't need a 17-step bedtime routine to improve your sleep, but you do need an off ramp. Something that tells your body, we're done for the day. It's safe to rest now. This might look like turning off screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Avoiding decision making. Avoiding hard conversations or, stimulating input. Turn off the news. Taking a warm shower, sipping some magnesium, soaking in some magnesium. Read a few pages of a book. It's not fancy, it just needs to be consistent. Because when your day ends in chaos, your nervous system is going to carry that through the night. So the goal is to ease into rest instead of crashing into it. Okay, God didn't design your body to live in survival mode. He built in protective mechanisms like cortisol to help you respond to stress. But they weren't meant to be the driver. You're not meant to live clenched and exhausted. You were created with rhythm, with rest, with signals that say it's okay to slow down. So if you've been living like you have to earn your rest, if slowing down feels selfish or lazy, first of all, you're not alone. But also, can I remind you of something? God built rest into the very fabric of creation. He didn't suggest it, He modeled it. Even in a perfect world, before sin, before stress, He rested. You don't have to push harder to be healthy. You don't have to earn the right to exhale. Rest is not a weakness, it is wisdom, it is obedience, and it's allowed. You're allowed to honor the way God designed you, not just in theory, but in practice. Let that be your permission slip today, if one is needed. If this episode hit home for you, I would be honored if you'd follow the show and leave a quick review. It helps more women find real answers and reminds them that they are not alone in this. And if you've got a friend who's running on empty, send this her way. This reset might be exactly what her nervous system has been waiting for. Next week, I am talking with Shay Greenwood, our Kingdom Life Coach inside the membership, about what it really looks like to move from survival mode to steady strength. She's opening up about her own transformation, how she went from avoiding exercise and feeling overwhelmed to building rhythms of strength in both body and spirit. It's a powerful, grace-filled conversation for anyone who feels like lasting change just hasn't clicked yet. And after that, we're getting back to fasting, how to implement it wisely, in rhythm with your hormones and your season of life. You're not just learning information here. You're learning how to live in a way that supports the body God gave you. And I am honored to walk beside you as you do. That's it for today on the Nourish to Thrive podcast. If you found value here, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or send it to someone who's walking a similar path. Keep showing up, keep asking questions, and know that healing is possible, especially when you trust the one who designed your body to heal. Until next time, stay rooted in truth and nourished in grace.